Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabruggi, and joining me tonight down in Arizona is Derek. How you doing, Derek?
Hey, pretty good, man. Pretty good. My son is practicing a recorder somewhere in his house, and I'm going to yell at him here in a minute. But you might hear some high-pitched.
Okay.
He's not very good at the recorder, turns out.
Yeah. Sorry, we're running a little bit late tonight, folks.
Not a prodigy on the recorder. Ricky, tell us a little bit about your love for laundromats.
Oh, man. I swear today is a Monday in disguise. I swear. When I was at the laundromat doing my laundry today, and there was this gal that we were waiting on dryers. I have never been in there a time when every dryer was full, and today was one of those days, and I couldn't believe it. But there was this gal standing there, started taking her stuff out of the dryer. And then midway through taking stuff out, she stops, pulls out her phone, and standing there and just chatting away for about 10 to 15 minutes. And at one point she stops and she puts her phone up here like this, and she's thinking. I'm like, get your stuff out of the dryer, dude. Come on. You're holding up progress here. I didn't say anything, but it was just like, come on, I got stuff to do and places to go.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, we had a washer that would it was a dryer that would just not stop breaking down. We had homeowners insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something where they covered our appliances. So basically how it breaks down is if you have this insurance when you own a house, when something breaks, they come out, they charge you a flat rate of $75. They fix your dryer and then they leave. And then what happens is 3 months later, they have to come back. Anyway, we ended up paying these guys $75, probably 7 or 8 times before we were like, okay, let's just get a new dryer. That it adds up. It adds up after a while. So sorry, I got dogs in my studio. So go.
Oh, mine's laying right over there.
It's my brother's 100-pound Rottweiler. I have a water bottle right here next to my foot, and he thinks he's gonna chew it up. And I told him that's not gonna happen. So, but anyway, it's when I went to the laundromat, luckily it was a pretty big one. I never really had any trouble getting into a spot. But yeah, I mean, nobody likes being at the laundromat anyway. It's a lot of people. It's loud. Generally they're playing news on the TVs, and all the news is telling you we're all gonna die, everybody's got COVID. I just have anxiety attacks when I go to the laundromat.
Yeah. No, other than that, I just, oh my gosh, I just couldn't believe it. Why would people do that? I mean, it's just get your stuff and move on so that people can come in and get their stuff going, get done, and go on about their days too, and it's just ugh. Right. Like I said, I didn't say anything to her. I just sit there and just let it go. I'm one of those kind of people that just bites my tongue rather than blow up, So I'm not the blowing up kind.
Well, I'm sharing the show out right now. Why don't you pin some of these comments? Who's talking to us?
Well, let's see here. Yeah, so you got Ellen from Leavenworth. Hey, Ellen. And then Double T saying, hello, my guys. And Elizabeth Mae Morgan, recorders are fun. Haha. And Double T's asking a little bit late, LOL. And Wade Kite saying hi in Vegas.
Yeah.
And Trisha, good evening, everyone. Hey, Trisha, one of our YouTube reps. And Double T Monday in disguise will be accurate. Been that kind today, 10-4. And Pam Creaky says, hi, guys, watching from Topeka. Another YouTube rep.
Nice.
And Wade says, how is everyone? Doing well. Pam, hi, Trisha. Trisha says, hi, Pam. Shanna from Wichita.
We got some people here.
And Andrea Lynn over in Junction City. And wait again, are you shocked the correction officer committed suicide? That was, I have to admit, I didn't expect that one. That was both last name White. There's the corrections officer that took off with the escapee and said she died of a self-inflicted gunshot. When she didn't die right away, though, I guess they got her to the hospital and she died like a little while later.
Was she talking to them? Do you know? Because like I'm just curious
I
how
don't
like
know.
we're just going to believe the escaped convict who's in a convict because he murdered somebody. He'd be like, yeah, I didn't have anything to do with it. She just decided to shoot herself. Like, do we
Yeah,
know for a
I don't
fact she
know.
shot herself? Because I mean, I just
That's
read
what
the
they're saying
report
in
that
the
says
news.
he came out of the car saying he didn't shoot her. I'm like, well, obviously he's going to say he
Yeah.
didn't shoot her.
Well, yeah. It says it's under investigation, but one report said it was self-inflicted, so I don't know.
Right.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what they figure out. I guess the autopsy was scheduled, so.
Wow. Well, that's just rough,
And,
for her
yeah,
family, for the people that cared
Andrea.
about her and stuff. But
Yeah.
it sounds like she might have, I don't know. I know that guys go through midlife crisis, but it sounds like she retired, sold her house, had a bunch of money, and sounds like she felt like doing something crazy. It's
Right.
just,
We
I
got
don't know. I
Andrea
wasn't
from,
there.
yeah, Andrea's saying Junction City. Melissa Gurney, hey, from Lincoln. And Esther Andres here. Hey, Esther. Hello, Ricky and Derek from Greensburg. Ed W. Miller, Marshall County, Kansas. And there's Kaylee. Her and I've been messaging a little bit yesterday on some stuff. There's Pam. We're holding down the tube for you. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. And you too, Tricia.
Yes.
And she says, I actually thought he would kill her. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I don't know. She said he was already facing a murder charge, I guess. And Wade says, I thought it was weird that it was his first words is I didn't shoot her. Yeah. And Double T says, don't forget the statewide silver alert out of Salina. Yeah, I've been trying to get a picture of that lady, but I haven't been able to find one. But we sure can cover it.
Silver alerts make me sad, because it's usually, somebody who's confused and don't really know what's going on. And that always just makes me sad, to know that, somebody might be out there and they don't know what's going on,
And, yeah. And Pam saying cops claim they saw her with a gun to her head.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, she was 16 years as corrections officer, and she was just getting ready to retire.
I read somewhere that was actually her last day, the day that she took off with him.
And Christopher is here from Greensburg as well. Says good evening, Ricky and Derek.
Nice.
And here's Amanda from Amarillo.
Hey, I'm going to go to Greensburg when I do my little tour of Kansas in July. I want to go eat in Greensburg. I don't know if it's still there, but there was a restaurant there that I really liked when I was growing up. My buddy Jeff Young told me about often, but I always like going to the Big Well. And I've always, to me, Greensburg's like it's always been a sightseeing little town for, it's not far from Elkhart, and the Big Well is just cool, I like the well.
Yeah. And Kaylee saying, how are you guys doing? Pretty good, Kaylee. How are you doing tonight? And Wade saying I thought he was going to kill her too, and says he was convicted for murder and going to serve 75 years for killing a woman. Wow.
Yeah.
And Roxanne's here from Oklahoma. How you doing, Roxanne? And Shannon says, sad. I'm sure he manipulated her and she risked it all. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Esther's asking what's the name of the restaurant.
I'm not sure. I'll have to message my friend Jeff, but it was right there on the highway. Like just right when you're passing through Greensburg, it was right there to the right, I believe.
Uh-oh. Sorry to hear that, Kaylee. Hope things get better for you.
Yeah. That's no good. Yeah, my kid's coughing. He's going on 2 weeks of coughing. We took him to the urgent care today. Not a bad deal, man. $150, and they said whatever tests they do, they cover. So he was covered. They said he just has maybe some type of viral bronchial infection. So he's taking some an inhaler and some stuff. He's feeling better.
Wade says it's 70 degrees in Vegas. That's unusual for Vegas. Woo.
It was only 88 here today. The next 3 days are going to be in the 80s. So it hasn't showed its ugly face yet this summer.
It was 95 here today.
It's hot in the South because I just saw producer Brandon Smith take off his hockey jersey.
Yeah.
You can tell he's out. Brandon Smith works from his garage for Back Home Media, and you could tell that hockey jersey was just a little too much for him. Pretty steamy.
Roxanne says it's hot down there in Oklahoma. Yeah, it was like 90 yesterday and 95 here today. So it's supposed to be 90 the next day or two, then down into the 80s a little bit.
Keep it, man. We're not going to be hot until Friday.
Well, Kaylee saying her grandma's in the hospital. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully she'll get better and be out of there soon.
Right.
96 here today. The rest of the week is going to be in the upper 90s. Oof.
Wow.
Amanda says down there in Amarillo, 95. Wow.
I believe that. Texas is hot.
Shannon says it's 90s here in Wichita. Wait, says kind of weird, but it's been windy lately. That's why it's cooler. Oh, yeah, it's been windier than heck here. Sheesh. I can't believe how windy it's been. Uh-oh, Kaylee. So she's been crying. Oh, Kaylee, I'm sorry. I really am.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and take a break and cover some cases. Kaylee, just help sit here with us. Help us look for these people. Let's all share this to the right people tonight. Let's really do something good, and let's see if we can bring some people home. Yeah. Oh, by the way, visit www.kansasmissingunsolved.com. If you have any cases you want us to cover, there's an easy place there for you to input the information. Also, you can go to www.kmupod.com. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, please call the National Human Trafficking Line at 1-888-373-7888.
And Wade was saying he misses seeing your face doing low streams, Derek Rutherford. Pam says that sounds like a croup cough. And she said, sorry, the nurse just came out. And Roxanne says, almost missed it tonight, but saw Derek's post because no notice on Facebook. That was Derek's fault.
Yeah. This new going back to Tuesday and Thursday caught me off guard this week. Yeah. My kids always sound like they have, is it croup? They always sound like that. Every time they get sick, I think they have it. But I don't know. We went to the doctor today and they said that it's, they gave him an inhaler and some cough medicine. So hopefully he's on the mend. Cindy Ann Trotnick here from Parsons, Kansas. I wanted to cover Dana Jane Bruce tonight first because we've been covering her often. And I know that out there in Sedalia, she doesn't get talked about as much as she needs to. So we're going to go ahead and remind Missouri again. Tell us about Dana.
Okay. She's missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th of 2008. She was 23 when she went missing. She's now 36. She's 5'2", 98 pounds. She has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia, Missouri. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at the Mullins Bar on Main Street with the young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with the man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Bruce after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities haven't named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush, and she doesn't have any credit cards, debit cards, a checking account, a cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 23. She'd now be 36. She is 5'2", weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel in silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She's blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar in her right shoulder, and her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100. Or you can call the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number is 866-362-6422, and see if we can't help get Dana located and back home where she needs to be. It's been far, far too long.
Ellen Dotson says, thank you for continuing to share Dana's flyer. You bet.
Yep, you're very welcome.
For sure. Tell me, well, she says, we talked about this last week. Cindy Ann Trotnick said he needs a lie detector test. I think somebody said that he had been given a lie detector test.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
but,
Ellen can clear that up for us.
Yeah. I mean, if he hasn't got a lie detector test, he should. I mean, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've said it every week we cover this. I think it's just really suspicious that the guy took off that, as soon as all this happened. And but that wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, she says they gave him one. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to have evidence, sadly, like you have to be able to have evidence to prove something. And it sounds like Missouri's just having trouble coming up with that. And I agree with Cindy. She says people don't just leave town that fast. I agree with that. I don't think people just up and leave. Even if the person that up and left doesn't, I mean, I'll say this: up and leaving when you're the last person to see somebody alive, or that's what the version of the story that the rest of us believe. If you were and you just up and leave, it doesn't automatically mean that you're guilty, but it definitely automatically looks shady, and it looks like maybe something and you're just trying to distance yourself from it. So it's not like a straight up, oh, this person did it, but it's definitely very fishy to just take off as soon as something crazy happens.
Right. They have evidence of her being in his truck. Oh, wow. That's what Ellen was just saying.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. My brother is saying way too sketchy, in my opinion. And he says he still feels it's foul play. So,
yeah,
very well could be. You never know.
Well, tell us about Dietrich Foster. While he's reading that, make sure that everybody remembers that there is a $5,000 governor's reward for, information on this case. But go ahead and tell us about Dietrich.
Yep, he's missing from Independence, Kansas since April 12th of 2020. He was 37 when he went missing. He would now be 39. He's 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. He was reported missing on May 12th, but he was last seen around April 12th in Independence. KBI agents and detectives from the Independence Police Department are conducting the case as a homicide based upon findings during the investigation into Foster's disappearance. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 37. He would now be 39. He's 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. And if you do have any information regarding Dietrich's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Independence, Kansas Police Department at 620-332-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And as Derek mentioned, there is a governor's reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the disappearance and suspected murder of Dietrich Foster. So if anybody has any information on Dietrich's case, please call that in so we can, get Dietrich found and get him back to where he needs to be.
And we say it every week, but if there's a $5,000 reward and they're using the word suspected murder, they know something that's bad, So the cat's out of the bag, folks. The police, they're pretty sure something bad might have happened to Dietrich. So if you know something, just might as well let the dominoes fall. It's already out. People, obviously, more people have talked. The police know something. If you know something, call the anonymous tip line and let them know. I mean, it's going on long enough. Like this has been for like 2 years now, and they're straight up saying a suspected murder. So like that to me tells me that there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been released publicly. So if you know something about this, just say it. Just call them. You don't have to say who you are. Just call anonymously and say what happened, because enough's enough on this case.
Definitely, yeah.
Tell us about Caden.
Okay. I was checking out some comments over here real fast. Cindy was asking what kind of evidence. Ellen says they found strands of her hair. And Cindy saying Ellen Dotson, just said, yeah, it is. Definitely. Okay, Caden Smith. This isn't a suspicious death. On April 29, 2020, El Dorado police officers were dispatched to an address on South Star Street in El Dorado for a report of a 14-year-old Caden Smith with a gunshot wound to the head. Caden was later pronounced deceased at a local hospital. Through the initial investigation, it was discovered that several juveniles had burglarized an abandoned house where firearms and ammunition had been discarded. One of the firearms stolen was used in the fatal shooting. It was initially reported to investigators that the shooting was a possible suicide. However, with information from Central County Medical Examiner and tips from the Republic, the death has been ruled undetermined. Investigators have continuously followed up leads provided by the community and have received assistance from local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies. This case has remained open since the shooting has occurred and has yet to be resolved. The El Dorado Police Department would like to thank the public for all the tips received and can assure you they've been actively following up on these leads. They're once again asking for the community's help in identifying what happened on April 29, 2020. Unfortunately, this is all the information that they can release at this time without parental consent. Anyone with information that would lead to the arrest of the suspect or suspects could be eligible for a reward of up to $1,000. Please leave a tip at Crime Stoppers at 316-321-1080 or at their website, which is www.p3tips.com/community/mobile/index.htm, where you can download the mobile app and submit a tip that way as well.
Now, he started out on the show as a missing person, right? Or did we always just cover his?
I don't remember. I
think thought maybe he was a missing person. I don't know. We'll have to look into it, but yeah. That's rough. That's a young kid.
Yeah, definitely. 14, that's way too young.
Yeah, that's really, really bad. Yeah, if anybody knows anything, definitely, contact these numbers. And they have Crime Stoppers number up there as well. So that's if you want to stay out of it. Just want to let them know the information and then move on.
Right.
That's rough. 14 years old. Terry's saying, are they thinking foul play with Caden?
I know the family is.
The family is thinking it. Roxanne says, I think it's sad to have to offer money to get information. People just need to step up and say what they... I agree. I agree. It's sad that you have to offer money to get people to talk about stuff like that, but it is a tool that is available, Sometimes money is willing to help people find their loved ones.
Yeah. Sad that money has to be a motivator, but
yeah. Well, tell us about Anna Marie Baldwin.
Okay. Just going to locate her on my list here. This is an unsolved homicide, April 17th to July 17th of 2017, Topeka. Her body was found in Osage County, Kansas, by a park ranger just north of Melbourne Lake in Osage County on August 25th, 2017, near the lake's Turkey Point waterfront day use area. Anna's thought to have been killed between April and July 2017. She was 5'6", weighed about 120 pounds. She had brown hair and hazel eyes, and at times wore gold-framed glasses. KBI investigators asked anyone that who knew Anna in late 2016 or in 2017, or who may have information related to her death, to please call 1-800-572-7463, and callers may remain anonymous. So if you have any information on her case, please call that in.
So just found by a lake, basically.
Yeah.
Oh. Osage County. Where's that?
It's got to be over by Topeka.
Wow. Well, hopefully there's people talking in that one, anytime this stuff happens, people are talking around town, and that stuff's usually not released to the public, but hopefully people continue to talk about what they hear, and hopefully some of that information makes it to law enforcement.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about Roberta Mae Klotz.
Okie dokie. Just got to locate her on my list here. There we go. Roberta Mae Klotz on January 7, 1987. 30-year-old Roberta Klotz put her two daughters and a friend of one of her daughters to bed about 10:30 p.m. When the children woke up the next morning, Roberta was gone. Police believe that Roberta would not have voluntarily left her children and home. All of Roberta's personal items, including her medicine, was still in the home. On the morning of Sunday, January 11th, law enforcement did a full search of the mobile home and found Roberta's body hidden there. She had been asphyxiated. Law enforcement believes that Roberta was killed either late January 7th or early January 8th. They believe her body was in the house the whole time. Police believe Roberta was killed while the three children were sleeping in the home. Roberta lived at 125 Maple in an almond green and white mobile home in Great Bend, Kansas, with her two daughters. All immediate suspects have been cleared. If you have any information about this case, please call Crime Stoppers at 888-305-1300 or 620-792-1300. There is a combined reward of $6,000 being offered. $1,000 of it's from Crime Stoppers, and $5,000 of it is the governor's reward fund money. So there's $6,000 available in reward money for anybody that will call in information on Roberta's case that will lead to who did this to her. So if you have any information, please let them know.
You got to wonder if the
person on any of these cases.
You got to wonder if the person that did it had to maybe know the place to know that there was a place to hide somebody where they wouldn't find her, you know?
Yeah. And Pam is saying that Osage is one county south of Topeka.
Okay.
And she's also saying Turkey Point is a popular camping area.
Okay.
Mary Huff says, for some reason, won't let me type on here using the regular keyboard. Hi from McPherson, originally from Salina. You guys are doing wonderful. Well, thank you, Mary. Appreciate that.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah.
And then she goes on to say, by the way, I also went to school with T-Bird. Tell him I said hi. I think she's meaning Double T, I think.
Double T. Double T is quite famous.
Yeah.
He says Osage County is in eastern Kansas, just east of Emporia.
Okay.
You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about Jeremy D. Cook. This was not too long ago, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was the one that initially started out as a missing person.
That's it.
Yeah. On November 19th, 2020, a citizen called 911 after finding a 2006 white Jeep Grand Cherokee. The last vehicle Jeremy Cook was seen in the 7300 block of East Bailey in Wichita. Officers found Jeremy inside with a fatal gunshot wound. The investigation is still ongoing, but police say the shooting was not random. No arrests have been made in Jeremy's case. So if you have any information regarding his death, please call the Wichita Police Department detectives at 316-268-4407 or Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111 or the See Something, Say Something hotline at 316-519-2282 and see if we can't help bring Jeremy's killer to justice. And I've said this before, and I will say that again. But even if you think this piece, if you have information and you think it's just too small or trivial to call it in anyway. It may be just what they need to, get them in the right direction to find who this is.
And you're
talking
talking
saying she just got booted out of YouTube.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. And Double T's asking, who called me T-Bird? Is Mary Huff.
Who called me T-Bird?
My dad used to write that on our sack lunches when we were kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He would write that T-Bird on our sack lunch bag. Like, gee, thanks, Dad.
Does this, do you talk to Jeremy's family?
I've talked to his mom a couple times. It's been a while.
Okay.
But I have, yeah.
Just tragic. Young guy.
Yeah.
The world ahead of him, and now it's just
He
gone.
says the name not ringing a bell, but hi, Mary. Could be she may have had a different last name when you guys went to school or whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Tell me about Cindy. Pinky.
Don just says, this isn't a usual night for a live. Great to catch it. Yeah, we went back to Tuesdays, Thursdays. Derek's fault.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Cindy Easom. We haven't covered her for quite some time, actually. Montgomery County, Kansas on December 7th, 2017. Cindy Pinky Easom, 33, was found with multiple gunshot wounds to her head in the Card Creek area near Elk City, Kansas on the morning of December 7th, 2017. She died a short time later. Hunters in the Card Creek camping area called Sheriff's Office to report what they thought was a body floating in the water less than a mile south of the boat ramp. Sheriff deputies and paramedics from Independence boarded the hunter's boat and recovered the body. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and the KBI continued to search for whoever was responsible for Cindy's death. Cindy was seen in the Baxter Springs, Kansas area 3 hours before she was found shot, according to news release. Investigators think she was in Miami a few hours before being seen in Baxter Springs. If you have any information regarding Cindy's death, please call the Montgomery County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-330-1000 or the KBI at 800-572-7463. And there is a governor's reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of the person or persons responsible for Cindy's death. So if anybody has any information at all, please call it in. No matter, like I said, no matter how small or trivial you think it may be a huge piece for investigators.
Right.
So please don't hesitate to call it in. Mm-hmm. And Mary Huff is saying a group called Adventures with Purpose. They search for missing people that are submerged in water. Maybe there's a way they can help out with some of these cases. I know they've been in Kansas, like, with Randy Leach's case, and I know they were in Oklahoma. I'm trying to think of what the young lady's name is, Molly Miller and Colt. I can't think of his last name. They were doing some searches for those two and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if they're going to be back in the area anytime soon or not. And Mary also says there that it's a continuation of her first comment. Some of the cases that are people possibly submerged in water. Yeah, they only do water searches. That's their primary thing, is water searches.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like divers at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what their hobby is, and this is what they're using it for.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
They bring up submerged vehicles, they float them up and then tow them out. And
right.
I remember I watched one of their videos where they just thought they were pulling a car up out of the water, and they pulled it up, and as soon as they got it up there, Jared starts hollering, cut the camera, there's a body inside.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, that's good. They shut the camera off and gave that body, gave that person some privacy.
Yeah. Yep. And it ended up being a missing man that had been being searched for a little while. I can't remember how long exactly, but it was a while.
Wow. Well, let's come over here to my neck of the woods. Tell me about William and Barbara Singer. This was about 4 or 5 blocks from my house.
Oh, wow. Okay, William Singer and Barbara Singer on July 4th, 2014, Phoenix, Arizona. They were found murdered in their home. Detectives traced the couple's movements in the days before the murder and found the duo at an ATM withdrawing large amounts of money. Detectives say the withdrawals were made 15 minutes apart around 10:30 p.m., which did not fit their normal routine. They also said William looked to be under duress. Police believe the couple got the money, were taken back to their home and murdered. Detectives have released photos of persons of interest in the case, but so far have made no arrests in connection to the couple's killing. The persons of interest were seen days before the murder knocking on a neighbor's door and claiming they work for the cable company. Anyone with information is asked to call the silent witness at 480-948-6377 or for the Spanish 480-837-8446. Callers may remain anonymous and could earn a cash reward.
Wow. That's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, that is brutal. I just don't get people. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Trisha. You are incredible. She sent me a picture of Joyce Bear. I've been looking forward to do this over alert.
Nice.
So I can get that made after the show. Thank you.
I wonder why Trisha got kicked off of YouTube. Was she getting rowdy over there?
Janet Matry, I see your message of help. What are you needing help with?
It's a buddy of mine. She might be just messing with me. Yeah, she's I think she's on. Well, I know she's on the East Coast, but she's in like the northern East Coast. She listens to another show that I call into sometimes.
Oh, I see. I thought had me a little worked up there. I thought maybe something's going on.
No, she's probably just tell us about Michael Burton. This is
I think she was saying hello and hit the P instead of the O. There we go. Okay. Which I do that regularly all the time when I make a flyers. I have to go back and go, no, I didn't want that one. Okay. This is Michael Burton. He is missing from Independence, Missouri since March 17th of 2022. He's 44 years old. He is 5'9", 145 pounds, brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen in the 10,000 block of East 22nd Street. Michael could have possibly been driving what is described as a greenish blue Nissan Titan with an unknown license plate number. It's unknown what he was wearing. Again, he's 44. He's 5'9", weighs 145 pounds. He has brown hair, hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Michael's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call Detective Steve Brashears at 816-325-7820 or email leads at well, I have to spell this one, indepmo.org, or call the Missouri State Highway Patrol's Missing Persons Unit at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number 866-362-6422, and see if we can't get him located. It's been a couple of months, and just actually, I think, ended up in the media today, so I don't know why they waited almost 2 months, but let's see if we can help get him found.
Well, sometimes he's 44, it's not illegal to disappear if you want to disappear.
Interestingly, that picture on the far right with like the fedora looking hat with the black band, that picture, I cropped it down. It looked like he was on stage playing guitar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He looks like he might be a musician.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's okay. I don't like when these people that are established and have places to be, are missing.
Yeah.
You just assume Michael has a job and people that rely on him, so you get real worried whenever he's unaccounted for like 2 months.
Yeah, that on the picture you have on screen, there's that one on the left side, the big picture over there. He was playing guitar on stage.
Nice.
So, fellow musician there.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. Don't forget to go to kmupod.com and let us know what cases you want to cover. We'll be right back after this.
Sure.
Leaving an abusive relationship is a highly personal, individual decision, but all survivors benefit from having trusted people during this time. Since those experiencing abuse are often isolated by their abusers, it's important to know how you can support survivors on their path to finding safety. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, please reach out to the hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233.
All right. I'm going to talk about Alex Larissa from here in Salina. Been missing since December 8th of 2017. He was 25 when he was missing, and now he'll be 29. He's 6'2", weighs 175 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. Last contact with family Alex had was with his family at 4 a.m. on December 8th. He's wheelchair bound as his left leg is amputated above the knee. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 25. He'd now be 29. He is 6'2", weighs 175, has black hair and brown eyes. He has a tattoo on the left side of his neck that says pain, which you can kind of see it a little bit of it in a couple of the photos there. And we do know that the vehicle that he was in when he went missing was discovered abandoned northeast of Salina. It did have his wheelchair in it and other personal items inside of it as well. If you have any information regarding Alex's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department. It's 785-826-7210 or call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477. Or you can text SA TIPS to crimes, which is 274637, or visit www.pd.salina.org and follow Crime Stoppers link to submit a web tip. You may receive a cash reward up to $1,000, and you're not required to give your name. Or you can call the KBI at 785-296-4017 and let them know what you know about Alex's case as well. But let's see if we can help find Alex and get him brought back home.
Yeah, the fact that all of his stuff was left behind is just so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, and the vehicle abandoned out there, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's just pretty frightening to know that everything that he needs. Just without his chair, how's he gonna get around? And he has to crawl everywhere or hop. How's he get around?
Yeah, I know. He just pretty much, I think he might have used crutches. I'm not for sure, but I know he used his wheelchair too.
Okay.
So,
but still, you'd think you'd need your wheelchair if you're missing a leg. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't want to just leave that behind. So it makes me wonder if maybe it wasn't his idea to, I don't know. I'm
trying to field messages while we're talking here. I've got a lady contacting me about what did she say? He was stepson is missing down in Wichita. She sent me photos and information. So got 3 to work on after the show tonight.
Wow. Janet says he might have had a prosthetic.
I don't believe he did. I'm not sure.
Trisha got back on YouTube.
Good deal. And Trisha, I cannot find that photo you sent. Where did you send it? To the KMU inbox or to my inbox? Because I'm not seeing it.
All right. Tell us about Alexander Perez.
Oh, there it is.
Covered
Thank you.
him in a little while.
Okay. Okay. Alex
While you're
missing.
looking for that, I want to give a shout out to Trisha because I don't live in Kansas anymore, but I'm interested in Kansas always. And she is really good at posting where the tornadoes are at in Kansas on the active days. She'll be like, tornado down on the ground here. Like, I love it. I just follow her page and find out where all, because I used to watch there used to be like a app that you could download and you could watch all the storm chasers, and you always got nervous when you'd see them pulling into your town. But they're around, man. There's a lot of tornadoes in that part of the country. But anyway, yeah, Trisha, thanks for the weather updates. I love it. Go ahead.
All right. Alex Perez was missing from Ulysses, Kansas, December 1st of 2020. He was 35 when he went missing. He'll now be 36. He is 5'11", weighs 235 pounds, has black hair that he shaves nearly bald, and brown eyes. He last contacted a family member via phone on December 1st and said he'd be coming home to do do laundry. Alex never arrived at the family member's home, and he's not been heard from or seen by family or friends since that date. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. Originally, it was believed that he may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in Garden City or surrounding areas. We know some not so good information has come out about what may have happened to him. We don't know if there's any any facts to it or not. We'll just have to wait and see how that all pans out. But again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 35. He's now 36. He's 5'11", weighs 235 pounds, has black hair that he shaves nearly bald, and brown eyes. He does have a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He has Perez tattooed on one of his arms, and he has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Alex found and back home to where he needs to be. And I know Derek got his hands on a voice message that Alex had sent to a family member. And apparently he was running into some pretty rough stuff. You're muted.
Do you want me to go ahead and run that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I'm supposed to be going back early morning to go get some shit and then go get some other stuff down there and bring it back down here, but I don't even know, man. It's been wild down there. It's been crazy. Fucking been held at gunpoint and robbed and tried to beat me up. It's a bunch of crazy shit going on in GC, man.
Bunch of crazy stuff going on in GC. So we know that in the 6th, he was in Garden City, is what he was saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Trisha's saying she has people all over that watch for me to do that on the tornadoes.
Yeah, I love it. I love Kansas weather. I'm glad I'm not there because I hate being in a tornado. But, honestly, I lived in Kansas for, 30 years of my life and never had a real close scare with tornadoes.
Closest I've come in recent years was I was home from work with a stress fracture in my left foot, and doctor took me off work for a week to let it kind of rest up and stuff. And sitting on my couch, had my police scanner going, and the spotter had this. I guess I had the spotter channel going because all of a sudden the spotters come on. And this is in October. This is what threw me for a loop. It was October, and the guy comes on. He says, "Well, funnel cloud's getting ready to go over East Crawford," and I'm like, wait a minute, I live on East Crawford. So I got up and hobbled down the stairs, out the front door, all the way out to the curb on Crawford and looked to my east, and there it goes. I got my phone out and snapped some pictures of it. I did post them on my Facebook. If you go to my Facebook and you go into my photos, I think it's about 4 pictures I would have posted that day.
Was
It was
Double
pretty
T
crazy.
jealous?
Do it.
Was Double T jealous?
Oh yeah, he's still.
He still
Yeah,
is. I shouldn't have brought it up. Is what you're saying? He's going to be in the comments like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
you'll have
We
your
were
day."
talking
Double
about
T.
tornadoes. That tornado that hit somewhere the other day. I can't remember where it was at. And I
Andover.
brought that up, and he was like, "You would go there."
Yeah, Andover.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it might have been the Andover. Yeah. He's saying jealous of what? That funnel cloud I took pictures of that October when I was home with my foot when it was messed up with that stress fracture, which to this
Mary
day
says,
still gives me fits.
Mary says also Adam Brown Adventure I think does not land just water to search. Wow.
Yeah.
We got another YouTuber saying I lived in Beatrice, Nebraska in 2017 when they got hit. I have pics and damage from it. Wow, send them in.
Yeah.
Send them. Well, you're not on Facebook. Go to kansasmissingunsolved.com or kmupod.com and send them to us. We'd love to see those.
He says, "Oh yeah, the tornado sensitive subject."
Double T.
Yeah.
He's heated. Hey, well, we have 2 more cases to cover. Tell me about James.
All right, James Brennan Jordan. As soon as I locate, there he is. Missing from Hutchinson, Kansas since April 15th of 2022. He's 17, 6'3", weighs 135 pounds, has brown hair and blue eyes. He goes by his middle name Brennan as opposed to James, I'm told. It's believed he may still be in the local Hutchinson area, or he may be in Wichita, or he may be trying to get to Texas. And he's 17 years old. He's 6'3", weighs 135 pounds, has brown hair and blue eyes. Last seen wearing a gray T-shirt, black sweatpants, and black shoes. If you have any information regarding James's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Hutchinson, Kansas Police Department at 620-694-2816 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get James found and back home where he needs to be. It was actually his mom that got a hold of me about him being missing. So we're trying to help her get him found.
We got some comments here. Amanda Cunningham says he's a big kid. Yeah. 6'3", man. It's crazy.
My brother's saying hi, Annette. I don't know who he's referring to when he says hi, Annette. I don't see an Annette in the comments anywhere.
Oh, wow.
It'd
be sweet if it was Annette Lawless. Could be. You never know. Maybe she's watching. I actually... I
know she follows the pages quite well. So
right.
I talked to
James Brennan Jordan
and stuff. So
big dude.
Yeah, he is. 6'3". He's not very heavy, but he's very tall.
Right. Yeah, he's a tall kid. I'm gonna put that on the bottom of the screen real quick. kansasmissingunsolved.com.
Oh, it says Annette Lawless is watching, bro. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, hey, Annette, thanks for watching.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at. We have one more fight, and it is going to be our featured case for tonight. We named tonight's show after Kurt Krueger, and this is going to be pretty recent, about 9 days ago here in Wichita. And Ricky, tell us what you know about this.
Well, it was actually, this came up as a post in the Kansas Missing and Unsolved group, and I reached out to the family and talked to the family and made this. Wichita police investigating after the body of Kurt Krueger, 49, was found in West Wichita overnight on May 1st, 2022. They responded to the call around 2:10 a.m. in the 7900 block of West Cottontail. They found Kurt unconscious and he was pronounced dead. He was walking in the neighborhood where he lives about 20 to 30 minutes before he was found. Police distributed a photo of the car and are seeking information on the driver, and the photo's pictured there. And the one picture says it's dark color, 4-door, possibly late 90s model. Those who were in the neighborhood around this time or who saw or heard anything are asked to call Detective TJ Nelson at 316-350-3686 or call Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111 and see, if you've seen anything, heard anything, please let them know, and so they can, help figure out what happened to Kurt.
It makes you scared to go leave your house, man.
No,
like
I
you never
know.
know what's gonna happen. This guy just goes
Yeah.
and takes a walk. Next thing you know, he's on our show. I mean, that's just a little bonkers, man. I can't believe it's just. I don't know. I hate that. Like in Phoenix here, like several years ago, I saw it on like a crime show. There was these two idiots that were driving around Phoenix and just shooting people with shotguns
That's stupid.
that they saw on the side of the road. Luckily, they got caught. But I mean, it's just senseless. I don't understand how like Kurt can't just go for a walk and unplug
either.
from his life for 10, 20 minutes and walk around. You know, it's sad.
Mary saying profiling evil on YouTube, researching unsolved and missing cases. Yep, I watch all of those YouTube channels. Actually, Mary,
Ricky's dialed
profiling
in.
evil and Adam Brown and Adventures with Purpose, and another one is what is his name? Burton does Depths of History. He usually pairs up with Adam Brown, and another one's Exploring with Nug. He's another one. Jeremy, he looks for missing persons and stuff like that as well, and in the water and things like that. I have yet to check out Chaos Divers. I need to check that one out. And Mary says she's putting all three out there for families to get additional help for the missing. Greatly appreciated, Mary. That's fine. It's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Mary Jacob Grubbs of Chaos Divers, and then Shauna says 2 a.m. is too late to be out in Wichita. Wichita is no joke. And that's true. I've got some family members that live down there, or either live down there or live down there. And yeah, I would tell us you couldn't pay me enough to live in Wichita. I'm not knocking anybody that lives in Wichita, but I personally wouldn't live there, or Kansas City.
Right.
I couldn't do it.
As long as we're giving YouTube love, check out Muddy Waters on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, I haven't had a chance to tell you yet, Derek. On Muddy Water Search and Recovery's YouTube channel this Sunday night, I'm going to be on there as a special guest.
What?
Yeah.
Look at you, man.
Yeah. I'll be on there Sunday live.
Big time in me. Big time in me. Well, hey, man, you want to, our producer, Brandon Smith, he worked today. He went to a hockey game. And he made a located safe all before we needed it. So he just finished this hot off the presses 10, 20 minutes ago. Here's located safe. You're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. Again, check us out at kmupod.com. Way to go, Brandon.
Love those. A couple of notes on that located stuff I was going to bring up too. I don't know if you guys noticed the flyer for Essence Hoppins. That's actually the younger sister of Faith Hoppins that we've covered a few times on here over the last couple of years. And Faith, I'm happy to say, is not missing anymore.
Nice.
And as far as Essence goes, it was interesting because I had gotten messaged one morning about Essence being missing. I asked if I could make the flyer, and at first I wasn't putting two and two together on the profile that was messaged me about Essence, and I got to looking at it a little bit closer, and it turned out it was actually Faith that was asking me to do the flyer for her younger sister. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, man, that is. It's always sorry. I had to sneeze while we were doing that, and then it trickled me into coughing twice.
That's only the second time in 10 years that's actually happened where I had an older sibling that I had made flyers for get a hold of me and say, hey, I got a younger sibling that's missing. Can you help me with that? So, yeah.
It's like a rotation, man. I mean, well, I mean, that's what happens when you do something for 10 years, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then the other one was Bonnie Wood's flyer that was on there located safe. I'd gotten a text. I think it was the day after she was located safe, I believe it was. And it was letting me know that her mom wanted to, the person that texted me was the person that asked for the flyer. And they texted me to let me know that mom wanted to thank me for making the flyer and said that the flyer was directly responsible for Bonnie being located. So
nice.
It's like, that's cool. I like to hear those kinds of things.
Yeah, man. It's a small world, man. Like, it's crazy how many people will reach out to me and they'll be like, man, I've known you for 30 years. I didn't know you were on Kansas Missing Unsolved. You know what I'm saying? They'll like see it. People will share it. It's just crazy how powerful that page is and how many people see it, how many flyers get shared. And, you know, it's just crazy. Shanna, she was in reference to her 2 a.m. is too late to be out in Wichita. Mary says Salina is getting to be that way as well.
Yeah, I had a situation happen to block for me last night, a little after midnight last night. It's this quick shop convenience store down the street. They've been closing at midnight for whatever reason. I think they started doing that during the COVID situation. But shortly after midnight, somebody went over there, wrapped a chain around the door handle on the door of the store and ripped it open and with their vehicle. Went in, stole tobacco products and some gift cards, which I thought gift cards is kind of dumb because you're not going to be able to do anything with them. But they left, came back 15 minutes later, went back and took some more stuff. And I was like, my gosh.
They sound like a couple of geniuses to me.
Yeah, and the second time they came back, apparently they were in a stolen truck. They got it all on surveillance video. So
Trisha says she wouldn't live in Wichita. She also says, way to go, Brandon. You got to be careful. That sounds a little bit like, let's go, Brandon. Hey, we're trying to keep it clean. Pam says, Wichita and KC definitely places I avoid. She says, I love that you guys are showing the ones that are found located or so. Yeah, that's the main reason we do this show, so we can share those videos. It's awesome to see that people get brought home because we also have something we do like every 3 or 4 months. We haven't done one in a while, but we have a located deceased role that we do, and we hate putting people on that one. So the located safes are always, the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
Oh, your brother's Double T's finally remembering Mary.
Oh, brother. Another situation we had this past Saturday. It was early Saturday morning, about between 3 and 4 Saturday morning. We had police got called over to a call of shots fired over on South College, 400 block of South College, which is like roughly in the neighborhood of where Double T and my ex-wife and my other kid live. And I have a great uncle and a cousin that live in that vicinity. But they got over there, didn't find any victims, but they did find shell casings and stuff. And a few minutes later, they get a call back saying, hey, we got 2 gunshot victims in the ER over here. One was an 18-year-old girl. One was a 25-year-old guy. He passed. I haven't heard any more on the girl. And a little while later, they get called over to East Cloud, and there's another guy that's over there suffering gunshot wounds laying in the front yard of that residence. Took him to the hospital, did surgery on him here, and then transferred him down to Wichita down there. And then apparently, in an unrelated incident that same night, they had another shots fired call out on Haskett Street, and they did find a few shell casings, I guess. But they said it's not related to the other one. So, I mean, they're still looking for the guy that shot the other 3. So, because they believe the one on Cloud and the 2 on College are all related.
Right.
So, but they're still looking for the guy. So hopefully they find him soon.
A little bit delayed there, Terry. Is old age setting in already? Hey, Double T might be a little long in the tooth, but he's a heck of a researcher.
I'll tell you, Mary, he's my younger brother, and I'm about 8 years older than him. So he's what 46 now, I think, and I'm
Oh,
55.
wow. Double T. He'll be joining us on air. We don't know if he'll be on the whole show, but he's definitely going to become a part of the live stream, and he's going to be checking in with us. We're just waiting to get him some equipment and stuff. But real quick before we get out of here, podcast listeners, please remember that Facebook
47.
podcast.
Excuse me. He's 47. I missed a year. Oops.
Okay. Don't interrupt my commercial ever again, Ricky, because I have to cut this out. This is going to be a commercial. Hey, podcast listeners, don't forget that Facebook podcast is ending in June. They are no longer going to be available. And from what I hear, we're going to be kicked off where they're going to upload our new episodes really soon. So if you are one of the 500 people that listen to this show on Facebook, please locate us on a different podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any podcast platform you can think of. If we're not on there, message us. We'll try to get on there. But we're on a lot of places. Please find us on other platforms, and we don't want to lose you as a listener. No. And we're really mad that Facebook is doing this, but it's out of our power.
That I can't believe they're doing that. I've said this time and time again about Facebook. They're always fixing what's not broken, and they need to stop fixing what's not broken. I ran into a situation yesterday, actually. I was trying to respond to a comment on Kansas Missing from my phone because I was at work, and I got this stupid thing saying that they blocked me from responding because I hadn't finished the publishing thing. And I was like, okay, so I got a hold of them through the help thing on the page, and I said, look, I said, I cannot respond to my comments from my phone, and this page has been active for 10 years. Okay. About 5 minutes later, I tried to reply to the comment again, and it went through just fine. So,
Christopher, yes, we are on YouTube. Ricky, comment real quick down there where it says post a comment, so that way it'll show your YouTube name, and I'll pin it. And then Ricky's going to say grace, and then we are going to get out of here. Mary says, we will be on YouTube every week. We're on YouTube every week. And we will be back Thursday of next week.
Yep.
Thursday at 9 p.m. Central. We'll be back live next week.
Interesting little tidbit that I just found out while I'm waiting on YouTube to cooperate with me here. I was talking to Rachel down there in Oklahoma.
No, comment here on StreamYard. So like you do every week, comment right there.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. I just got to get the URL here. Hang on. I was talking to Rachel down there in Oklahoma. Her and I chat quite frequently on Messenger, and she was telling me that I think it was the last show or the show before. I can't remember which one it was now. She was apparently. Loretta Lynn is her godmother. And she was telling me she was talking to Loretta Lynn on the phone and telling her, she was asking her what she was doing. She told her she was watching our podcast. And I guess Loretta Lynn popped in on the podcast under an anonymous name. Oh, wow. It was kind of checking us out, see what we do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised by it. I was like, that's cool.
Kaylee's back. What's up, Kaylee? We're about to get out of here, Kaylee.
Yeah, I'm putting it down here in the comments right now. And there it is.
And Trisha says, great show, guys. We will catch up with you Sunday on Muddy Waters, Ricky.
Yeah.
So
we're trying to get Dennis over here, too.
There's the link to our YouTube page, and then there is the name that we're under, Ricky Tabruggi, Kansas Missing Unsolved. All of our, pretty much like 90% of our episodes are on the YouTube page. But definitely check it out. But Ricky, you want to go ahead and get us out of here? I need to wrangle some kids to bed.
Okay. Well, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us again together tonight to try to help get some answers for these families of these missing and unsolved cases that we cover every week, and so we can meet each other again next Thursday. Keep us all safe and healthy and out of harm's way. And as always, we pray that these cases will, the people that are watching, hopefully, or listening on the podcast formats, hit the right ears, the right heart, and they'll do the right thing and call in what they know so we can get these families some answers that they deserve. Man, we pray these things in your name, Heavenly Father. Amen.
Amen.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.